Senator Engineer Abaribe, please, if you can be on standby. So let me put you under mute. Senator Engineer Abaribe, if you can take the floor, please.
Just have had the benefit.
Oh, okay, hold on, sorry. I think he's back. Oh, he's dropped entirely. Sorry about that. Senator Engineer Abaribe, you can now have the floor. Thank you very much, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you very loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just say hello to everyone and say that my real problem and what I really feel very bad about is the fact that at any time that we come together, just like we came together in this ENDSARS protest, and where people eschewed everything, and where everybody was walking in one direction. The people who want to put this nation in trouble, at all times, we introduce the very same thing and the very same pattern, the very same, I will say, you know, whatever, and you can see it. First thing, they put ethnicity. Second, they put religion. Third, they now put politics, different parties. Then 5, you know, they now pit the youth against the old and all that. And immediately that happens, then we veer away from a consensus, and then we start speaking in disparate voice. And I can just see it, and that's exactly what is happening today. At the point when this ENDSARS started, nobody, absolutely nobody, thought that it was Igbo or Yoruba and all that. But what do we have today? Yesterday, I was in another Zoom meeting, and there was a scramble to say that, oh, some people are saying that what happened in Lagos, that it was the Igbos that were doing it. How could that happen? And all of a sudden, the narrative and the conversation starts to change. And so I think that what we need to focus on today is how do we, following what Professor Dogo and Pat and Usman Bugaje has also said, where do we go from here? How do we move forward? How do we take those things that bind us and leave all these other ones that tend to put us aside? My very good friend, Fani Kayode, I want to welcome you to the party because you're talking about the resignation of the president a year after I had said mine. I saw it. At that point, when we saw the way that this administration was focusing just on one part of the country to the detriment of every other part, I knew that there's no other thing that it was going to bring, but it's going to bring resentment from all sides. And sadly, they don't seem to listen. My feeling is that this will blow away. This will all go away because right now they have introduced all manners of things. In Abia, what they have just done is to say, oh, militants have come, they're burning down police stations, they're doing this, and everybody said, no, we cannot do that anymore. So everybody's gonna leave. The fact that this thing started with police brutality and the fact that the SARS disappeared so many people and so many families are still mourning till today. And so that one seems to have now been put under the carpet, and now we are talking about every other thing except that. The government says, of course, that we have changed, we have accepted, we have done that, but we still have the same police, we still have the same IG, we still, there's no new idea that they're going to bring because they were the perpetrators of all this at the beginning. And somebody, I think somebody posted something about how much you have to pay to be in SARS. Some other people posted about the fact that policemen were going around with POS machines to extort money from people. And nobody talking about how to tackle that, because you have to tackle all that. It's when you tackle that, that you can now say, okay, we are going to move forward. Prof, I think that maybe I'm talking to Prof. Tommy and the rest of us. Maybe what we need to do is to see how we can harness this energy that all the youths brought together to do this protest and use it to change the government in the next election. Because, of course, I cannot advocate that, you can call for the president's resignation just to make a point. He won't. But this government is too set in its ways and cannot change. It's a fact. Just yesterday, on Tuesday, just before we went into, from the Senate, we went into now going into committees to talk about the budget. The president brought a letter to change the Electricity Regulatory Commission chairman. Now, what did he do? The chairman hasn't spent the 5 years because he's got a letter that is from 2018 to 2023. All of a sudden, the man is changed and is replaced by somebody from the north. And how do you expect such a person to be happy? How do you expect his own people to be happy? And on that same day that this letter came, were discussing the same thing that happened to the former PENCOM managing director. And I stood up and I was making so much point, but this was another letter, truncating another person said this. And when you now want to ask, who wants to continue to introduce this ethnic dimension at all times? Is this government? And there is nothing we can do anymore because they are now very deaf. You can just see that. And the only way is that you have to vote this government out of power. Otherwise, they will continue to perpetuate themselves. And I don't see any other way we can avoid having to shift from this.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Abaribe. Your intervention is, again, you can never give pastors time to speak without quoting the scriptures, politicians without campaigning. But one thing to
I'm not campaigning for my party.
No, I know. But one thing to take away from your submission is very clear. The youth has made it absolute clear that come 2023, you're very unlikely to have APC and PDP, and every one of you will be removed. I mean, Professor Patti to me is the only person that I can see that
you can say that will be left.
I actually agree that he's going to do a festival that the youth has woken up, and what it means that politicians listening now, that the youth have said loud and clear, come 2023, it is their turn. There's going to be a new Nigeria that is going to be defined in their worldview. There is an analogy that we have kept using. It boggles the mind how a people that can barely use email will dictate the future for those that only will tell Amazon Echo to make Eba, Apple Siri to give you the direction, and Android whatever to say, please, can you on my lights? Can you turn my car engine? Whereas those making the decision are those that can barely open email and read email. That is going to change. Having said that, here today is we are looking at how to de-escalate the tension that we have in the country. On that note, I will be bringing in Professor Chris Emafidon. Please, Prof, if you can unmute yourself.